Well, hey there. We are back on Webfishing. This is a game that I like to just kind of casually play when I don't feel like playing anything else that requires a lot of effort or time or whatever it may be. I will hop on here and get some fish. So I have not done everything that this game has to offer, but I'm pretty close. I've gotten a lot of different things in this game, but part of the reason why we're back here with this is I played this game initially when I decided to start making more videos a couple of months ago, and I want to kind of come back to it periodically, or some other games that I enjoy when I kind of just feel like chatting. So this video is going to be pretty much just me having a conversation, not about a game, not about whatever it may be. I'm just going to kind of yap and kind of give a bit of an update to what I plan to do moving forward and mumbo jumbo, right? So stick around if you want to. That's what this is going to be about. So first off, let's start fishing. So I have this golden hook that consumes 3 times more, but has a chance of giving ultra rare fish. Let's go over here to the pier. Oh, shit. I fell down. But to get started on the conversation just a little bit. So, a few different things. I like where everything is going right now. I like the pace at which I am putting videos out. Like kind of what I'm doing in general. I enjoy making videos. I'm enjoying playing games that I honestly sometimes wouldn't play otherwise. So a lot of story-based games that I used to enjoy a lot and used to play more often, I kind of got away from to play more open world action adventure shooters, whatever it may be. But I have decided that with the YouTube channel and with trying to stick with a very kind of strict schedule of uploading 3 times a week, I'm trying to do it Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Sometimes those days get a little bit jacked up, of course, here and there, but it is what it is. For the most part, though, I just kind of want to stick with the schedule and just keep it going. So I'm not taking this whole YouTube thing super seriously. I'm not trying to go hog wild with it, right? I'm not trying to go crazy. I have a life otherwise, you know, I have other things I have to handle. As I've said in previous videos, I got 2 kids, I got a full-time job, trying to lose weight, you know, I got other things to handle. So YouTube is definitely my favorite pastime outside of just playing games. I could just sit there and watch YouTube videos all day long. And sometimes I'll do that when I'm like, dang, I should be playing a game or I should be doing something different other than consuming content, maybe making some content. So that's what kind of got me around to having a deep thought about what I actually wanted to do when it came to making the content. And that's where I came up with the idea of the time frame and kind of the reviews and the previews. There's a couple other YouTubers out there that I really like. One of the big ones that I watch all the time, he's not that massive, but he's big in my eyes, is Mortismal Gaming. He does a lot of like PC, CRPG, ARPG type of games. But man, that guy pumps out videos every single day. I mean, it's his job now, but he literally makes a 10 to 20, sometimes 30-minute video every single day. And I'm like, that's pretty crazy for one, but I feel like I could do something similar, but in a different way, where he will go in and do a preview for a game and kind of just sit there and maybe play it for a couple hours and then come and talk over it while he's, you know, giving his first impressions, yada yada. I really like that, but I don't really have the time to do that. Sitting there and not only playing the game for quite a while, in most cases, to get a good gist of it, but also going back to edit it and then upload, and then like that schedule of doing that, having my computer tied up and doing so, then I can't really play another game because it's encoding and processing in my video editor to upload and all that mumbo jumbo. Like, you know what? We'll cut it back to be, of course, not nowhere near as often as someone like him or other people that are similar as well, but also not as detailed or not as fancy. I mean, for one, I'm just doing this for the fun of it. I am in no way, shape, or form making any money, and I don't think I will for a very long time if I do at all. But if I do, that's awesome. If I don't, that's fine. I'm enjoying it. But I want to keep it at a slow and steady pace while I enjoy it. It's a hobby. So with this hobby though, moving forward, I will keep on doing the same kind of thing that I'm currently doing, which is making a review. Look at my mouth poking through that. It's just so dumb looking. Making a review probably once a week, sometimes maybe more, depending on what it is. So I want to put out 2 previews every week minimum because I want to be able to have some options on the games that I review later on. So some of those games in the past, I've even played like Prince of Persia, or I played Yellow Taxi Go Vroom. I'm not going to be doing a review on those because when I played Prince of Persia, they kept changing it because it's in early access, right? So it was pretty good overall. I enjoyed it, but then when I saw one of the bigger updates and I came back to it, I was like, oh, the game is fundamentally pretty different at this point. It plays mostly the same, but there are some aspects that were changed and some glitches that I wasn't very fond of. There were some glitches in the initial portion as well, even after a few updates, but then they did a bigger one. There was some more glitches, some other things I didn't really like, so I was like, you know what? Instead of just like going out of my way to shit on this game because of some of the things I didn't like, because I did enjoy a lot about it, and I didn't feel right going to poo-poo all over it whenever it's in early access, and they're still working on it. So I don't really like the idea of doing that unless it's a full product already released. They don't have a roadmap that they've talked about. Oh, I gotta reel this in. I gotta get some different bait on here. So I'm not a big fan of just like shitting on developers who are still working on it. If they're not working on it, or they don't have a roadmap, or they have nothing, and they're just like, yeah, we'll fix it later, fuck it, then I don't mind kind of shitting on them a little bit. But otherwise, I choose not to do so. And that was kind of my thought with Yellow Taxi Go Vroom. That game is just not for me. I enjoyed the first 20-30 minutes of playing it, but the more that I played it, I could not stand the controls of that game. It played like it wanted to be a perfect mix or mashup of Mario 64 and Crazy Taxi. But the way that the controls were was you could only go forward and back, just like a car, and like turning your wheels left and right, so you can only go at certain angles. But you had these weird like jump mechanics and boost and whatever that you could figure out and play and do, and all that was great. But the way that the game is structured is like a Nintendo 64 platformer, where it needs precise movement. Not insanely precise, but pretty precise for the most part. And the fact that you're so limited and you have to kind of use this set of tools that they give to you in such a precise way, and you have to become very, very good with these set of tools just to even feel accomplished or be able to get to the next level. I didn't feel right doing a review on it because I put the game down and I felt like I got what I wanted out of it. Like, I bought the game, I enjoyed it for a little bit, and I was like, I see where this is going. This game is just not for me because the movement is not sticking, and I don't want to spend a bunch of time trying to do this, whatever it may be. I even went back and played one of the earlier levels to be like, okay, let's try to 100% this level. Let's go and try and just get everything that we can, whatever. And it's just like arbitrarily difficult. So the reason why I point that out for those 2 games specifically is because my goal is to do a review on every game that I preview. So there will be cases with games, specifically those 2, right now at least, that I will not be doing a review on. So I'm sorry if you were expecting that, but those will not be coming. Now, on to the next part. With me doing 2 previews and a review every week, obviously I'm going to get super ahead on previews for games. But there may be some where I end up dropping down the road, so it gives me kind of that wiggle room. But as of right now, I have a couple of larger games to play. I just finished one of them today, Avowed, and then I beat the rest of Arctic Eggs, and then I started playing some other stuff here and there, you know, just kind of dipping my toes, whatever, trying to see what I wanted to play. But Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which I am super excited to play, still want to be playing it right now. But it needs the right, I guess, mood, you could say, but I kind of need the right motivation to play it as well. But it's like a game that's 60 to 100 hours. Like, you could probably run through the main story in like 40, 50 hours, I think, is what most people have done. Maybe even 30, but I don't really want to do that. I want to take my time, because the first game, I did feel like I kind of rushed it a little bit, and I didn't get as much out of it as I probably could have, so that's why I was a little bit more sour on it. If you watch that review, you'll hear everything I have to say. But with 2, I'm enjoying it a lot more. It's more fluid. It's a little bit easier right off the bat, at least. It's more fun and engaging, and it's something that I want to take my time with. So I don't want to throw a bunch of larger games onto my plate whenever I already have 1 or 2 larger games there. So I have Stellar Blade, I have Kingdom Come Deliverance, and then I have some other games that are 10 to 20 hours maybe. So I've got like Citizen Sleeper or Time Spinner. Those as well are on my list to go complete. So what I plan to do, at least this kind of gives you some insight on what I do on a daily basis. So when I get off of work, I obviously handle what I need to handle for the kids or anything like that that's needed, or I go grocery shopping, I feed the pets, I work out, do whatever it's needed. And then by like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5, sorry, I had hiccup there. Maybe by 4 or 5 o'clock is whenever I'll kind of get a little bit of time before dinner and everything else. But as soon as I'm done cooking and eating dinner by about 7 o'clock, I've got free time until about 10 p.m. Maybe 11 if I choose to stay up a little later. So I got a few hours to throw into there, on days that I work at least, to be able to chew through some of these games. So I don't have hours upon hours every week to throw into a massive 100-hour RPG. And it sucks. But I would be posting almost no videos if I was working on just that singular one. Also, it said I had no bait. I was not paying attention. Let me reel this in. I'm actually gonna go... Shit. I accidentally jumped it right in. I meant threw it. Oh my god. Threw it right in, not jumped it right in. What the fuck does that mean? Little baby. I'm gonna come over here and get... Oh, fell in the water. Come over here and sell my fishies and get some more bait. But yeah, so once a month, maybe probably 1 or 2 games a month will be a bigger game, larger game, longer, whatever it is. And then I'll go and play one of the smaller games in between. So that's where Arctic Eggs comes into play, or 1000 Times Resist. It's like 10 hours. You know, I can play that in a couple of days. Or I can play like half of it or most of it on one day off. So I can kind of spend a whole day or most of a day doing it, or get it done over a few days and then go back to the bigger game. But even then, as I described with my time, I only have a few hours every day. So it gets a little bit tough to kind of play games and do things as much as I wish I could. But that is the woes of being an adult, being a dad, having a full-time job, having pets, and other goals and aspirations in life. So one day, oh god, I didn't realize it was a big clicker. A big old clicker, yeah. Maybe one day I'll have a better time management, or maybe I'll have other things that I can do, or I can make more content. I can work on videos more. I can make them better. But as of now, I do want to work on having 1 or 2 big games each month. Last month was Path of Exile 2, and then I did the preview, of course, for the other 2 games, Stellar Blade and Kingdom Come 2. But those are going to be really the 2 bigger games I'm playing this month. There's not many other games coming out right now anyways, so it's pretty good. Next month, there's like 1 or 2 medium-sized games with like South of Midnight and Yeah, I did. Okay. I was like, am I at a bait? I thought I just bought some for this. I didn't know if that message over there was old or new. But yeah, there's also some older games that I have already played that normally, honestly, I don't go back and replay games often. I can probably name less than 10 games that I've gone back after some amount of time and replayed it to fully beat it. Whether that be Skyrim or The Last of Us. Oh my god. See my title there? The title only for people who caught the super duper rare golden ray. And I got another one. Those things are awesome. Also, I'm sorry again. I've said this in other videos. My cat goes in heat sometimes and loses her fucking mind. So if you hear her in the background, I'm very sorry. But she doesn't shut up sometimes. So you might hear that. There's not much I can do about it, of course, other than get her fixed, but who knows? We'll see what happens. Back to the videos, though, and back to other things. I also want to kind of work on some longer form content that's more of things that I enjoy. So there's video essayists out there who make a 30-minute to 1 hour to 2 hour long videos about some game that changed their life, whatever. And in the past, I've posted about working on a bigger video, and I'm still working on it, by the way, to clarify. I would love, absolutely love, to work on those more, or have more time to work on them. But I'm also trying to keep up this schedule of making one review a week of a game, and also previews for these other games, blah blah blah. So, the goal there instead would be, last week I took a break, or the week before, where I took 1 week off of posting videos. I'm probably going to keep that up. Every 2 to 3 months, I'm going to take a week or two break. Just to give myself time to be able to catch up on either other videos to make or work on, or to be able to play something that's not just for YouTube. Sometimes I want to play a game that's not just for the creation of content, you know? Maybe I just want to turn my brain off and play some Monster Hunter, you know? Like, I just want to grind some gear. I just want to, sadly, play League of Legends, you know? Even though I fucking hate that game like most people who play it do, it's still like a good turn brain off play game. So it's one of those things that I like to just pop into, play a match here and there randomly, whether it be once every other day or once a month, you know, but if I get in that mood, I want to be able to play it and not feel bad, because instead I'm like, oh, I should be playing this other game because I need to work on that for blank and blank video, whatever it is. So that's my train of thought for a lot of this. And what I went and did as well was a lot of the larger games, or at least like more renowned games from last year that I had my eye on, but that I never got around to. Well, I never got to play them, never bought them, never touched them, nothing like that. And I have a massive list of games that I need to chew through, that I want to make videos on for the majority of them. And they're some pretty big games. Some of them I'm a little bit upset about, because like Dragon Age, I just bought that game like a month ago, and then now it's free on PlayStation Plus, which of course I pay for that, but you know what I mean. You pay a very small amount and you get a game. I mean, come on. Pay like $15 a month to be able to get that service, and because it also comes with the online shit, and then you get like 3 free games a month. Same thing with Game Pass and everything else. You kind of keep all the older games and all that, you know. The way that they kind of structure that is terrible. Not a big fan of it, but it is what it is. But out of my list of games, I'm going to pull it up real quick here on my phone while we're fishing. First of all, for games moving forward, over the next month or two, just to give you a quick idea if you're interested, a few of them that I'm probably going to play or at least check out or think about checking out for the most part, unless the reviews are terrible, is Wanderstop, which is the guy that made the Stanley Parable. So it's his new game, and I mean, anything that dude makes is probably going to be good, so I want to check it out. Then you have Assassin's Creed Shadows. I was always a sucker for Assassin's Creed, and I don't know what they're going to do with the series. Lately, it's been pretty shit. I think Odyssey and Origins was really good, but I think that it really needs more time before they just start cranking them out. And Ubisoft is just kind of going down the drain right now, so who fucking knows? But anyways, then we got Atomfall. That one's a weird one. I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of like a survival-y, Bioshock-y something. It's weird. And then we have First Berserker of Kazan, which comes out at the end of this month. That one's a Souls-like based on the DNF Duel universe. I'm pretty interested in it, but I want to see the reviews because I don't know if it's going to be shit. So we'll see about that one. Then next month, the only 2 games we have is South of Midnight and Expedition 33. So we can kind of catch up on games this month because I'm probably, even if I play Wanderstop, I'm not going to do a review immediately on that. Gotta click, gotta get them. And then Assassin's Creed Shadows comes out near the end of the month, so we still got time. But even then, I don't know if I'm going to do a review on those. They're massive games, for Assassin's Creed at least. But then moving on to games that have not, or that are not coming out later, but I've already bought that I started that initial conversation with. Man, if I go through this list, this will take me forever. But let me give you some insight on some games from the past like a year or 2 that I haven't played. Some of them are a little bit older than that, but I'm just going to kind of run through a handful of them. So we've got Signalis, Outer Wilds, Wanted Dead, Cyberpunk, Final Fantasy Rebirth. I want to replay Remake with that one at the same time. Then we got the new Like a Dragon Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, but then also Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I've played every Yakuza game. I just haven't played those 2. It's the only ones left, the newest one and the one that came out before. And then I've got Dragon's Dogma 2, Black Myth Wukong, Armored Core, Sandland, Prince of Persia Lost Crown, RoboCop, Metal Gear Solid, the like remastered collection, Metaphor ReFantazio, which I did start and already put like 20 to 30 hours in, but I stopped when I started making videos, so it's been like 3 or 4 months and I don't know what I'm doing in that game, and I'm not going to go back to it. At least not unless I restart, so that's going to be a big undertaking. Then I got Dragon Age. Then I have Dread Delusion, Near Replicant, Another Crab's Treasure, 9 Souls, Citizen Sleeper 2. Yeah. And then I've got a whole fucking list. It's not even a list. It's just an entire thing. Let me pull this over here. So on my shelf next to me, I just grabbed, here is the unopened games that I haven't even touched yet. Some of them are already named. Sandland, Star Wars Outlaws, Dragon's Dogma 2, Armored Core, Prince of Persia, Wanted Dead, and RoboCop. Now the other ones I opened, but I haven't played them yet. Let's go to those. We have Tekken 8. I played that for 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour. So I want to play the story mode of that. We got Crisis Core Remaster. We got Octopath Traveler 2. We got Elden Ring that I never got around to beat or anything like that. God, what else do I have on my shelf? Yeah, I've got so many games. There's other games as well that I haven't even bought yet that I want to play, like Space Marine 2 or Visions of Mana, I think is one of the ones. Anywho, let me get back to this and put that away on the shelf. Alright, so back to the game and back to other nonsense conversations. That's a little bit of insight for your boy on how he thinks, and goddamn, it's a big old squid. True alien. That's how I take YouTube and how I kind of want to move forward with this, where I honestly like the idea of kind of just vibing with people. Just like, hey, check this game out with me, and then if I do a review on it later on, check that out, and if you like it, great, stick around, I'll keep fucking doing that. Maybe you'll like my I don't know, the way that I'm just kind of chill with a lot of it, where I'm like, damn, this game is cool as shit. Because I know there's a lot of content creators out there. There's a lot of people who they do this for a job and all this other stuff, and they kind of put on a character for the most part. And I crank it up sometimes in some videos, of course, or obviously if I write a script for a review, it's going to be a specific way, whatever it may be. But more or less, I try to keep it very similar to how I just talk to people, the way that I have a conversation with someone and just kind of vibe, you know? And that's how I think I enjoy it, because there are some times that maybe you just want someone in the background. Oh, it's a big clicker. It's a big old boy. Wonder what it's going to be. It's a 4-star. But sometimes you just want someone in the background just being whatever kind of noise that you need, whether you're washing dishes or you're working out or you're folding laundry, whatever. Maybe your favorite podcast is over for the day. Oh, I need beat, damn it. But yeah, maybe you can just listen to me talk about a review or post these videos every couple of months, where who knows how long it's going to be. Oh, that reminds me. I didn't change my bait. I'm an idiot. Okay, he swung it back in. Sweet. Let's go do those because of the best bait that I have. So I want to tell you about this thing that I fucking failed at. So I'm still mad at myself about it. Goddamn, I'm an idiot. So there's this guy who makes YouTube videos, and they're centered around League of Legends, right? His name is Ross Boomsocks. Dude has been around doing YouTube stuff for like fucking ever. My man has been making League of Legends content since like 2011, probably. I don't even know. A long ass time. Anyways, he's about the same age as me, maybe a year or two older, I don't really know. But every year, he goes and posts a really long video of him just vibing on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, whatever it may be, to kind of just give people content to listen to and hang out with. To just have somebody to just chill with, because on holidays, not everybody has somebody to spend time with. And I really took that to heart. Because for me, I don't have any family other than my kids and my kids' mom's side of the family, right? So their mother, their side of the family, they're very nice to me. They treat me like family. I love them very much. But they're not my direct family, so I don't try to, I don't know, I guess like insert myself into a lot of their family activities all the time. But that's just me as a person. I'm like, yep, you guys have your own thing. I'll do my own thing. I don't mind being by myself sometimes, doing my own shit. It's perfectly fine. Not a big deal. But with that, sometimes, you know, you get a little sad. And I've dealt with my fair share of, you know, depression and all these other things. And without having a family, especially around the holidays, it used to get to me pretty bad. It used to be pretty rough. I would get super duper sad and depressed and not want to leave my room, not want to go and see anybody, not do anything. I've gotten a lot better over the years, of course, but for a while there it was pretty rough. So I kind of relied on his videos for those 2 to 4 hour long videos to help me get through the day. Because if I didn't have my kids that day and they were gone at their grandma's or their mom's house or whatever, for whatever holiday it may be kind of thing, with New Year's and all that happening, I felt pretty alone. And when I felt pretty alone, I just kind of drown myself in random thoughts that are usually very unhealthy. So to avoid that, I just vibe with my boy Ross Boomsocks. You know what I mean? And he's very goofy, very funny guy. Always cracking jokes, always being dummy dumb. And I like it. He's just a chill guy for the most part. Anyways, my point to that story is I wanted to do the same thing. I don't care if fucking 5 people watch the video. I don't care if nobody watches the video. I wanted to put it out there for myself to say, hey, I want to be there for someone else who happens to not have anyone. Jesus Christ, look at this. There's like 1,500 clicks. Holy moly. I might not make this. I gotta actually put effort in. I'm not making it. Holy moly. That was crazy. I used both my hands. I still didn't. When you gotta use both your hands, you know what I'm saying? But I wanted to make the video because I wanted to do it for me. I wanted to be able to sit there and go, you know what? I felt a connection to this with this guy who goes out of his way to make this every year, and I don't know, it really resonated with me. So I was like, maybe I can go out there and put something out there that actually does something for someone else for once. You know, you don't always have to make something because you want someone to watch it. You can just make something because you hope one day someone stumbles across it and helps them maybe get through their day. And that's all it is. I mean, they could watch it fucking months or years down the road, and I would not care. My goal in making something like that is to just help. That's really all it is, to be completely honest with you. I like the idea of being able to help someone. And especially if someone is in need, and it's just they need someone to chat with, someone to talk to, listen to, leave a comment on a stupid fucking YouTube video. And that helps them get through their holidays when they're having a rough time with their friends or family or lack thereof. And to get actually into the story, I recorded for like 3 hours me playing Risk of Rain 2, like 3 days before Christmas, to be able to post on Christmas Eve, like the night before maybe, or the morning of. And I was messing around with my OBS settings to be able to record it and yada yada, and I fucking left my microphone muted for the entire 3-hour session. And I finished it, and I was like, okay, I sat here yapping for 3 hours to do this. Let me at least make sure that the audio wasn't fucked up before I upload this. I start listening to it and scrubbing through the video, and there's nothing. I was like, are you fucking kidding me, man? I was so mad. I was so mad at myself. I was genuinely pissed off at myself for being such a fucking idiot. I was like, bro, you had this whole thing. I even went out and like put on a notepad on my other screen different things to talk about in case I ran out of whatever. So I ended up pulling from a couple of those because I was just like, you know what? Just in case. By the way, I'm moving to a new spot here just to kind of shake it up a little. But yeah, I fucked it. That's the only other way to say it. I really did sit there for 3 hours recording and didn't think ahead of time to double check my mic settings. So I just recorded 3 hours of nothing and basically had to delete it. Or at least throw it away in my hard drive and never fucking look at it again, really. So that's my story about how I tried to do something good because I took inspiration from someone else and I fucked it up. Royally fucked it up. But that happened just, of course, this last Christmas. This was not a couple of years ago. This was not a long time ago, nothing like that. This was 3 months ago. But just know, I will be doing that again next Christmas. Maybe even other holidays. Just depends on, you know, who resonates with that kind of thing or how I kind of am in the moment. But I plan to do something like that for Christmas just because. One thing that he did as well, where he used to just sit there and play League the whole time or whatever, is he kind of swapped between games. So I kind of want to do that as well, or maybe I'll play an hour of one game and then an hour of another game or whatever, but have it something that's mostly chill where I can just sit here and basically fucking yap. And someone can have that noise in the background to be able to have someone to listen to. Have a conversation about their day, have some nonsense to joke about, make stupid funny ha-has, you know what I mean? But I have a lot of different things that I would love to spend my time doing when it comes to YouTube content. I love artistic things that people make, like Jacob Geller is one of the best YouTube video essayists ever, in my opinion, but that's me. So if you ever heard of that guy, he's nuts. I really wish that I could do things similar to his scale. He's such a better writer, such a better just artist, because he's so good at like composing an image. And then like taking that image that he's composed of the idea that he wants, putting it on paper in a script, and then giving you visuals to compare that with and have it resonate with you at the same time. And I cannot fucking do that. I am not super artistic. I struggle with coming up with my own ideas of things. That's why whenever I was younger, I was really into cameras, photography, stuff like that, and I could kind of find the art within that. But the art is already kind of there in front of me, and I'm just kind of morphing it to what I want it to look like with the device that I have, that camera, whatever it is. But I've never been very good at just generating art on my own. I'm just not that kind of person. I don't have that fucking fancy little bone in my body that lets me just go poof, here's art. My daughter, on the other hand, she is super artistic, and I wish I could do that. She'll go one day and just fill up an entire notebook with randomly drawn characters that she came up with on the top of her head, like an ice cream monster, like random stuff. And here I am like, let me copy and paste this cool drawing that I saw and try to mimic it as close as possible, because that's about the best that I can do. And I've done that quite a few times. So, but that's just me just being like, oh, hey, I like drawing, but I don't have any original ideas because I'm fucking a dumb brain. I don't know. But with some ways that I can kind of write and speak, sometimes I can come across with some well thought out things, but not on the regular. But I'd like to get better at that. So that's partially why I consume that kind of content as well, because I want to get better at doing it myself in case it's something that I want to do, you know? I've also been reading quite a bit more, not as much as I planned to. I've still been reading way more than I ever did as an early adult or anything like that. I stopped reading when I was like 15, 16, and then I want to say when I was like 25, 26, I picked up another book. Maybe I was like 24 even, that one of my friends, a coworker, had. She was like, hey, check this book out. It's pretty cool. It took me like 9 months to read that fucking book. But then PewDiePie came and was like, oh, hey, I started reading again. And I was like, oh, you know what? I did read one singular book. So maybe maybe I can be like PewDiePie and read a little more. So I actually did. I picked up a few more books. I've read a few since then. Obviously, that was like 5-6 years ago when I read the initial one. But I've probably read at least 1 to 2 books a year since then, which is nothing fancy. I am in no way, shape, or form a big reader. I'd rather sit here and play a game or watch a movie or anime or something like that. And oh, there's this fancy little spot here. I gotta get a fishy. Oh, I got him. Oh, sweet. But I do want to read quite a bit more. I read some manga here and there as well, of course, with it, but I'd like to get more ideas from the actual content that I consume and not just strictly consume all the time. So I want to take some breaks here and there from just rapid consumption of things to instead create. But even creating something that's simple, like making a stupid fucking recording like this, where fucking 1% of the people are gonna make it this far into this long ass video about me yapping about this bullshit, right? But even if it's me just trying to put some effort into a conversation to have for someone to have in the background to do all this stuff, I'm here for it. And sometimes that's all people want. That's all they need, is to have someone that's just there for them, have someone to be able to enjoy having a normal kind of conversation. Sometimes you gotta have that brain tickled in a certain way that someone who can more eloquently, have a verbose amount of speech, whatever it is, they can use all these very large words, and they know how to put them into a script, and they know how to word them in a way that sounds so wholly unique and to the point of whatever their video is. Those people are fucking awesome. I really wish I could be more like them. There's also people out there who put on more of a character, who are more funny, who are just goofy guys, goofy gals, whatever it is. They're just good at certain ways that they portray themselves, or the way that they can kind of put forth that type of content. But I am the type of person who's just going to sit here and just be that dude that just hangs out with you. And maybe we'll make some artistic stuff here and there. I will definitely try in some videos. I know sometimes I crack a couple jokes. Sometimes I get some good feedback. One of my buddies gives me some good stuff where he's like, yo, that's a good thumbnail, that's a good title, hey, that joke that you said 5 minutes in, that was fucking funny, man. So I have a couple friends who do that for me, and it helps give me some decent feedback. So I hope to keep that up at least, and maybe I'll do some reviews of some other stuff. Like I had my best friend in real life, because all these other people I'm talking about are just Discord and YouTube friends, whatever. But my actual real life best friend and his wife, I was talking to them, and we were going to watch a movie. We're like, oh, hey, why don't... Or I was telling them about all my YouTube stuff and how I've been working on it, and I've been kind of having that be my bigger hobby, more or less. And they were like, well, why don't you try to do stuff on like some movies or some shows that we can kind of break it up and maybe post a review of blank season of Daredevil, because that just came out, right? And everyone's kind of freaking out about the first 2 or 3 episodes. Like, why don't you do a review of the first couple episodes, or once the full season is out, do a review of the full thing? In all honesty, I might try something like that, but I don't know, for some reason I don't feel as confident in my idea to give a proper critique or say great things about it, because as much as I enjoy cinematography and the way that a shot is composed, the way an actor portrays themselves or that character or whatever it is, I enjoy watching it, absorbing it, but putting that into a review for words is just not something that I really engaged with a lot. I never really watched reviews for movies or TV shows, never read them really, nothing like that. But I grew up on reviews for video games, Game Informer, EGM, all that stuff on the magazines back in the day. And then when the internet was first starting, or like getting bigger, and IGN was posting reviews all the time for stuff, that's what I watched. That's what I absorbed, was video game related reviews. So then I started having a more critical eye towards those things specifically, because that's what I consumed. So maybe I'll try some things for video content with some TV shows or movies or whatever other things I can kind of get my hands on, but I think we'll kind of test the waters here and there for that. Who knows? One of the movies I watched whenever I was at his house yesterday, what we watched was The Substance. Now, if you don't know what that movie is, that movie was fucking crazy. First of all, that movie's nuts. I could guess the first like hour and a half of the movie, almost maybe even 2 hours. Now it's a 2.5 hour long movie. I could guess 90% of what was going to happen in the first hour and a half. But then after that hour and a half ended, that shit went bonkers and off the fucking wall. So it's like, how do I put that into words? How do I not spoil it? How do I talk about this without being like, that shit was crazy? And I don't really know how to do that. So maybe we'll find a way to do so. Maybe I'll find a good template for it. I'll be able to, do some things in the future, because there are some movies and shows that I've really enjoyed recently. Like, I finally got around to watching The Whale with Brandon Fraser with his return. I know the movie's like 2 or 3 years old at this point, and it won a bunch of awards when it came out, and it's Honestly, it's fantastic. I am kind of upset at myself that I hadn't watched it sooner, but I did just get back into watching movies again recently. I really only watched, I don't know, maybe 5 to 10 movies a year prior to this past like 9 months. And these last 9 months since I started watching stuff again, I probably watched like 50 movies, which for me is a lot comparatively. So we'll see. I'll check some stuff out. Maybe if you guys get this far in this video and you're like, yeah, I want to see a review of the whale. That'd be fucking cool. I'm like, yeah, I'm a whale. I'm fat as shit in real life. No, I'm not that big, of course. I'm a bigger dude, but I'm not fucking massive like that. But yeah, if you ever want something like that, or if you're one of the fucking 10 people that are gonna watch this fucking video and get to the end here, if you want to see something different other than just a review and a preview of a game, or try something else different, I don't mind trying it. This is for fun. This is what I do to try to make people feel better about their day, help them just get through life a little easier sometimes. It also helps me get through life a little easier sometimes. Like, this is kind of an outlet for me, doing not only a video like this, but doing reviews and talking while I play games and whatever it is. I feel a good bit of an outlet for it. Whether I can portray that in a way that's useful to someone is yet to be seen. But I'm just a fucking dude yapping about games. That's all I'm doing. But I do hope you enjoy. I am going to wrap this up because it's already been extremely long. Hopefully you get a good gist of how I kind of do things and how I plan to do things moving forward. But maybe we'll try some other different things here and there as we keep growing. I'm getting some subscribers here and there. Nothing crazy, but nothing tiny. I mean, I started out a year ago with like 20, and now I'm at almost 200. So maybe one day we'll get to where we're bigger and we can put more time and effort and fucking quit our day job. Who knows? That'll probably be like 10 years down the road, but if it happens, awesome. If not, still gonna be here, and it's still gonna be awesome. But that's gonna be it. We're gonna end it here, and as always, see you next time.